Yeah, the high-speed SportsWire. I'm going to talk a little Coach Prime news.
Yeah, very emotional. We talked about his press conference on Monday, where he just opened up his life about his fight back from bladder cancer, how he never knew he was that ill, even though he had problems with blood clots that led to amputations of a couple of toes. But he went in for a common physical, and they found it in his blood. And he had 14 surgeries. Anyhow, he met with his team privately after he had this press conference, and I guess it was very emotional, very upfront, etc. And his players, you talk about being focused for football. His players say we are now focused in life because of the way Coach Prime talked to us about what he just came through. I expressed concern Monday. Can Deion Sanders actually hold up to the rigors of being a head coach? I mean, because the wear and tear is unbelievable. Now you got a wear and tear on somebody who's a cancer survivor. And, they say he's cancer free, but he'll continue to be on meds, et cetera, and have exams, et cetera. The unique thing, he's got 7 NFL players on his coaching staff. So he's got a phenomenal support group of people on the Colorado Buffalo staff. That includes Byron Leftwich, the longtime quarterback who he just hired, former longtime NFL offensive coordinator. That includes Warren Sapp. That includes Pat Shurmur, longtime play caller. That includes Marshall Faulk. He's got 7 NFL guys as his support group and on his assistant staff. It's probably the most of anybody in college football. But then again, CU doing a lot of things different in college football.
Yeah, it makes it so it's a magnet for recruits. Sure. You're going to talk with some of these NBA guys. They'll show you what it takes to get there.
So that's the latest there as it relates to Colorado. A ton of auto racing news. Let me run through this quickly. And if you're into Formula One, IndyCar racing, NASCAR, you are invited to be with us in the Fans Forum chat box, so jump on board. Team Red Bull. Max Verstappen goes public, says it is time to end all this conversation. I am staying with Team Red Bull. I am not leaving. I'm not going to use the escape clause in my contract. Everything with Team Red Bull has just been a drama show for about a year and a half. And of course, Christian Horner, the CEO who founded Team Red Bull, was ousted a couple of weeks ago. Verstappen says, I'm ending all conversation that I might go somewhere else. Team Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton, who's had terrible temper tantrums during the race, has publicly apologized to the leadership of Ferrari and his pit crews because he is always barking on the two-way headsets while he's driving, bitching about his crew, failing to do this, the car's not right, can't handle it, doesn't set up. And all that stuff is out there. I mean, everybody in access in the media has access to that race car pit crew communication. I don't understand why Hamilton does this when he knows everybody has access to hear what he's saying. So he has publicly apologized to Ferrari. Mercedes-Benz is calling an emergency meeting of its owners and its entire race operation tomorrow. They've got real structural problems with their drivers. George Russell, who was the heir apparent to Lewis Hamilton when Hamilton left Mercedes. Hamilton, left in a really ugly end of his career there. Russell won early. Russell's not winning now. And their 18-year-old rookie, Kimo Antonelli, he's going in the wrong direction. He has really regressed. His confidence is shot. So Mercedes is going to sit and talk about whether they need to make driver or drivers changes because Mercedes is going backwards right now on the grid. And in McLaren, have at it, boys. It's amazing. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are really dominating Formula One racing right now. And they've been involved with incidents racing each other. And there's been a big uproar in Europe about why McLaren are letting these two guys go head-to-head to the point they wreck each other or they take great risks. Piastri made a first-lap pass in a driving rainstorm at the Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday, and he nearly took himself out, nearly took Lando Norris out. On the first lap, Piastri wound up to win the race, and Lando Norris wound up finishing second. But there's the burning question about this whole philosophy there about let them race. Have at it, boys. Even if they wreck each other. I don't see how that works. If you get the best car, fine. If the other guy's about to pass you, let your teammate pass. Don't take each other out. And that's happened probably 3 times in races this season. That's my Formula One update for those of you who like everything that's going on in Europe in auto racing. John, you want to respond?
Yeah, that Lewis Hamilton thing's kind of weird because, like you say, it's a public feed. The fans can hear it, the media can hear what Lewis Hamilton is saying. His crew is doing their damnedest to try to perform. So barking at him, maybe once or twice, sure, but not berating them. And to me, it's just odd. It's almost like you criticize in private, but you praise in public, that kind of a rule. The other thing, just kind of another tangent, but isn't it interesting if you look at all those logos up there, like the Red Bull Racing logo has the Oracle logo baked in. Okay, that's part of its
corporate
brand
backing.
Yeah, and the same thing with Ferrari and HP and what is that, Mercedes and AMG Petronas. So it's interesting how corporate logos and team logos are merged as one combined logo, and makes me wonder if other sports are going to kind of migrate in that direction.
Well, there's talk about franchises being sold, and minority interest will now be corporate America buying minority interest in the Major League Baseball team or NFL teams. That's already kind of started to happen in some of the sports, not happening everywhere, but that's being rumored out there. So bears watching for sure. Okay, that's the latest. This podcast brought to you by Dixieline Lumber and Home Centers, 9 locations to serve you in San Diego. You got projects, they got materials. You want ideas, they can be your consultant. Just go to Dixieline.com and see all the things they have to offer you. Dixieline Lumber.